What's up, Rose Gang? It's your girl Nyrayshab Rose here, back with another freaking video. Before I get into this video, y'all already know what I'm doing by the title, obviously. But before I get into this video, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe, because if you ain't gang, you can't hang. Period. You already know. And my little sister gonna be so mad that I use that phrase. Like, that's my first time using that phrase. But like, when she used it in her channel, I was like, dang, like, kind of catchy. Like, I'm really fucking with it. So now I'm gonna start using it. She gonna be so mad at me, but it's whatever. So obviously, if you ain't gang, you cannot hang. So make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do a story time because I put like a little poll on my Instagram and I was asking folks like, should I do a story time or should I do a natural hair video? Because like, I kind of want to do both, but I don't know what everybody want to watch first. So everybody said they want to do a story time. So I'm like, dang, let me think about some good stories. And so I'm like, I remember this time where I got a sugar daddy, but he scammed me, so it wasn't even a sugar daddy, bro. I don't know, like, scamming is a big thing, and I ain't knocking nobody hustle, because I know it's a lot of scammers out there, but hey, man, like, it's all fun and games until you get scammed, you know what I'm saying? But you know what, I was young, like, I'm still young, obviously, but I was like 18, 19 when this happened, and I was stupid. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened, obviously, and y'all probably gonna be like, damn, this girl's stupid as fuck. But you know what, we live and we learn, and I never had this experience. So yeah, I hope I can educate y'all, and I hope I can tell y'all like stuff that y'all need to watch out for, okay? So anywho, let's go ahead and get into the story. Okay, so I was like 18, 19. So I had just moved out my parents' house and I had a job, right? And it was all fun and games and everything like that. Like, working was cool, but it's just like, I wanted to be rich. I've always wanted to be rich. Like, who don't want to be rich? But like, so I was just like looking for outlets to get more money. I was selling stuff. I was like making brownies. I was like trying to cook food and stuff. Like, I'm trying to make extra money 24/7. And that's just the entrepreneur in me. That's just me. But anywho, I heard this girl telling me like how she sell foot pictures on Instagram. And I'm like, what? Like, why? Who would want to buy feet pictures? Like, what would they even do with them? But apparently there's some people, I ain't gonna call them weird or nothing. Like, hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But there's people like buying foot pictures. And she was like, yeah, that's all you gotta do. Like, you know what I'm saying? They pay me this, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, So I ain't think nothing of it. So a couple weeks come by and I'm like, dang, like, I think a holiday was coming. I think Christmas was coming or something like that. And I was like, dang, I really want some extra money. So I'm like, dang, I'm finna try selling foot pictures. So I opened up a fake Instagram. I didn't put on my real Instagram because I don't know, I just didn't want to be associated with that for real. So I made a second Instagram and I started like posting foot pictures, you know, hashtag feet, weird shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And so one dude write me, he was like, hey, you know, I would like to buy your foot pictures, I want to be your sugar daddy, blah blah blah. So I'm like, oh shoot, like, I wouldn't mind having a sugar daddy if it's only like feet pictures, you know. Like, I'm not down with sending pictures. I'm not down with like meeting up with dudes and like old men or whatever, whoever, like old women, it don't matter. I'm just not down with the whole shebang. So, you know, like, when you think of sugar daddy, you think about that kind of stuff. But when he offered, he was like, all I want is like foot pictures. I'm like, shoot, you know what I'm saying? Take them, you know. So we start writing each other. And I'm like, okay, this dude kind of cool. He said he was like 57. And he was like, okay, I'm going to send you foot pictures. I'm going to pay you like 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know, all you got to do is send me pictures, videos, or your feet or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he was like, I'm going to just send you a big check. So this is like after a couple of days, you know, we talking, because he said, I want to get a vibe, you know what I'm saying? I want to be more of a friendship kind of like thing, like a relationship kind of like that. Not a real relationship, but like, you know, obviously because we only texting. I've never met this man. So he's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, you know, we talking, whatever. Obviously don't give out your personal information, your real information online. So it's just like, you know, so you already know. Y'all should know. So then he was like, hey, I'm gonna just send you a big check, and all I need you to do is just send me the remaining back so that I can keep a balance in my account, so that, you know, I can send it like periodically or whatever. I know this sounds stupid, y'all. Y'all don't have to tell me. I know. I freaking know. So this dude sent me, I think the first check was like $1,800, $2,000, somewhere around there. And it was a check. Mind you, I was born in 99, bro, and I don't even know if that means I don't know anything about checks. I know checks are out there. I know checks exist, but let's be honest, nobody uses checks anymore. And checks are like, you know, good, they're efficient, you know what I'm saying? They have their perks, but honestly, nobody uses checks anymore. I was never like taught in school like how to verify a check, how to tell if a check is real. All I know about a check is if I get one, I go to the ATM, scan it in, and that's it. And then I got the money. I've never had experience with a bad check. I thought all checks were real. You know, y'all might look at it and everything like that. It might have like a sticker on it. I'm like, okay, this real. This dude sent me a check, right? And he was like, okay, I sent you $1,800. I just want you to take $500 out of it and send me the rest so that I can send it to you, you know, next week, the 3 days that I'm supposed to pay you. So I'm like, okay. So tell me why, y'all, I get this freaking check. Bro, the shit look real, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, the shit look legit. It had a little void sticker on it. It had the bank. It had, like, you know, the route number at the bottom. Had, you know, everything spelled out. Mind you, I did not give him my real address. I guess I gave him my neighbor's address because I didn't know what he was gonna do with it, because he had to mail me a check. So, and then I told him just put cash on it. So, yeah, and then he sent the check and I got it, and I'm like, let me go ahead and deposit this. Mind you, like, the bank that I'm with, whenever you scan it, it automatically like puts it in your bank account before verifying it, which I did not know. So when I saw the money went into my account, I thought it was legit. Like, oh shoot, I got the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was real. I get the money in my account and I'm like, okay, I'll just send you back the rest, because I wanted this to continue. Like, I felt like, should I get $1,800 now, or should I get $500 3 times a week for however long this go on? So I'm end up making more money. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna just, you know, send him back his part of the money. So then a couple days later, he like, okay, he was like, okay, thank you for sending me my money. He wanted me to cash app it. And I'm like, why can't you just cash app me the money? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why you have to send it to me in a check? He's like, well, my cash app won't work, you know, it's just something wrong with it or something like that. I'm like, okay, what about PayPal? He's like, I'm suspended on PayPal. So I'm like, okay. But mind you, like, we was texting, so I don't know what it was. I don't know if I was just naive, which I was. I just felt like, I don't know, we like had a level of trust, not much trust. You can only trust a person on the internet so much. But like, I don't know, I just had a little bit of trust, which I shouldn't have, that, you know, he was telling the truth. So I sent him the money back on my Cash App to whoever's Cash App. It wasn't even his, it was a friend's or whoever. He was just like, it's for a charity. Okay. So then, like, he talking about, like, hey, I'm gonna get you a Mercedes, you know, blah blah blah, we can fly you out, we can do this, that, you know, I can meet you in person, it's whatever. And I'm like, whoop de doo doo, you can buy me a Mercedes though. And so he's like, okay, yeah, well, that's fine, you know, everything like that. So I don't know if it's 2, I think I would give it like 4 days later, he sent me another check for, I think it was $2,400, and he was just like basically the same shit, but this time it was a cashier's check, and it was to another bank, and you know, everything was spelled out, it looked legit. Once again, it had the void sticker, it had the part on the back where you gotta sign it and everything. Like, bro, I don't know what kind of scammer I was dealing with, but he was like, he was on his shit, bro. If it was a he, it could have been a she, but whoever it is, they was getting off. So I get the next check, and then I'm like, okay, I scan it in. I'm like, okay, I got the money. He's like, okay, send it back. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, I just got something bounced back. So the first check that I told y'all, it bounced back on my account. And I'm like, damn, I'm in a negative, like, what the fuck? And they said, like, you know, the check wasn't right. I called my bank, and I'm like, what happened? They said the check was fake. And I was like, what? So I tell him, I'm like, hey man, that check was fake. He was, oh my god, I'm sorry, the funds weren't in the account or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, you know, now you fucking up my shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna have to send me that money back or something. Like, we gonna have to fix this. And he was like, okay, but first you have to send me back my portion of the money from that second check. And he was like, really like going at it, like, hey man, when you free, when you get off work, when you gonna do this, like, when your lunch break, send it. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm starting to investigate. So now I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, because now my bank account looking fucked up, and you want me to send you some more money, but like, what the fuck going on? So I call the bank. No, I look up online, like, hey, how do you tell if a check is fake? They say call the bank and like give them the routing number so they can verify. I'm like, okay, cool. Call the banks. Both the motherfucking checks, they call it factitious or something like that, basically fake. And I'm like, damn. So I call my bank, And I'm like, hey man, I'm being scammed. Like, I don't got no money. Like, I'm in a negative. They're like, what happened? You know, obviously I can't say it was my fucking sugar daddy or whoever he was. And then I'm like, man, we had like an internet relationship, and this person been sending me money or checks, and I've been sending them money in return, and I think I'm being scammed. And it was like, yes, you're being scammed. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what can y'all do? Can y'all get my money back? And it was like, well, since the transactions were done by you from your personal account, we cannot say it was fraud. So I never got that money back. I lost about, I didn't have much, but I lost about $2,000, I would say. And that was everything. Like, you know, $2,000 is a lot when you're 18, when you just moved out and you have your own apartment or whatever. That is a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I lost a lot of money. And so, yeah, I'm like, they was like, they can't give me my money back. And I'm like, okay, damn. Like, so now I'm writing to do like, hey, bro, give me my money back. Like, basically, like, bro, fuck the bullshit. Send me my shit back. You feel me? Like, I ain't fucking with you. I ain't fucking playing. Like, I'm finna get the police involved. And my bank even told me, like, file a police report, which I did. But, like, by the time they got back to, by the time they contacted me, like, afterwards, like, it was, like, weeks later. And then, like, by the time that happened, dude already, like, blocked me on Instagram, already deactivated his and whatever like that. Like, it was just a whole mess. And at that point, it didn't even matter. I had already made my money back, and I was just over it. But yeah, like, that was my story of how I got scammed. I hope y'all don't have to deal with this. I hope y'all don't fall for that shit. Like, if y'all see people posting under posts and shit, like, oh, I'm looking for a sugar baby, 500. No, 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 no. Unless they talking about dropping some shit in your Cash App, like, immediately, then don't go for it. Like, I'm dead ass, like. But yeah, that's my story time. I was 18 years old. Never again. I learned my lesson. Yeah, make sure y'all keep y'all information, like, to yourselves. Don't give out y'all should know this. Don't give out your bank account number. Don't give out your router number. Really, I mean, you can't do much with just a router number. But never, ever, ever give out your bank account number. Don't give people your full name. Don't give people your social, all that good stuff, your address. Hell, don't even give me your phone number for real. But anywho, that's my story. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.